Mm. Okay, yay, it's working. It is working. It is working. Okay, so let me see. I don't know if I am officially live, but I think I am. So look, I have on my Florida State gear and I wanted to go live today because I wanted you guys to know for sure that it is the end of the year and it is December 1st. I have done little to no preparation because I just felt like this is a time sensitive matter. It's critical that I go live and I talk to you. And just let you know, if you want to join me for this live webinar, it is titled, You Know That You Overpaid for Something. And I am Spiceda Jackson. Many of you know me, like me, trust me. But today we are going to be talking about you know that you overpaid for something, but what is it? Okay. And one of my friends, he teased and he always talks about Quentin. Is like, you know what? When he got his degree from Florida State University and he majored in accounting, and how did he feel about that? How do we people who got our degrees, I got my degree in accounting and finance, but people have insecurities about what's going on, and not just people. I'm talking about accountants. I'm talking about PAs. I'm talking about nurses. If this is you, this live is for you. And it's not only for those professions, this live is for entrepreneurs. It is for anybody who's made money this year and in some way and somewhere you feel like that you've overpaid for something. I'm going to show you guys my webinar page because I want to make sure that you guys know where I'm coming from. And I got so many things open on my computer that I want you guys to see. Let me open up my landing page so you guys can see it. And if you go to X Financial CPA webinar, you'll be able to register to join me live. I'm going to be going live for the next 3 days, today included. And it is about this topic. If you think you're overpaying somewhere or you overpaid somewhere in 2025 with these last few months left, what can you do? And we know that nobody ever wants to feel like they've overpaid on their degree. You don't want to feel like you've overpaid for taxes. No one wants to have overpaid for anything. Okay, let me start the webinar. Am I started or am I? Let me get y'all. Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Um, let's see, my people might be here. Let's see attendees. All right. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me, if you can see me. Let me know. I have officially gone live. And hey, hey, hey. So I got on my Florida State gear today. If you haven't seen me or if you're catching this, you can join me live right now. If you go to my website, xfinancialcpa.com forward slash, let me pull that in. I'm gonna pull this over here. Yep. Yippers, yippers, yippers. Yep. Uh-huh. I got that over here. Let me talk to y'all over here in the chat. Hopefully it'll let me get to you guys. I'm gonna push this out because I haven't been on my restream in a minute. But X Financial post item. Let's get this over here. Nah, we're not gonna worry about that. I'm gonna put that here. Now bear with me for a second. Boom. All right. We got this going. And it's xfinancialcpa.com/webinar. Let me know if you can see me um, in the chat. I'm just going to, I know that I'm live right now on YouTube. I'm live. It's been a while, y'all, since I've gone live. I am live now on Facebook. I am live now on LinkedIn. And if you see me on any of those channels, y'all, let me know. I'm about to share my screen. It has been a while since I have gone live, but this topic is so critical and it's so much going on at the end of this year that I felt it necessary to just jump out and start talking to you guys about what's going on. Okay. So this is Aha Money. And let me pull up my website. You go to xfinancialcpa.com and then you put in /webinar. And then you will get to this page where you will be able to join me live in the studio and ask questions. I am doing this on the fly, hoping that you guys can see it. If you can't, I will edit it and bring it up later. Because I know that people can see it, but I don't know if you can see my screen and it's not telling me um, what you guys can see. Let's see. Can you see me in studio? I know you guys can see me in studio. And forgive me because I should have. It's okay. All right, it's telling me that I can't post messages to some channels. So if you're watching me live, go over to my YouTube channel. If you're on LinkedIn or you're on Facebook, if you join me on LinkedIn, you will be able to join me live. You'll be able to register. You'll be able to jump into the Zoom. It's very, very limited number of people that can actually join me live. I think it'll allow up to 100 people in, but okay. So I'm going to be talking about my landing page, and Joey, tell me if you can see it. Um, I don't know if Joey can see it. Joey, can you see it? I just allowed you to say something.
Hey,
All right, perfect. Can you see the landing page?
I can. Yes.
Okay, perfect. And can you go over to like YouTube and make sure that on the live that they can see the landing page there as well?
Okay. And also check the chat. It seems that it might be disabled.
The chat is disabled,
Yes,
possibly.
possibly.
Um, well, we'll fix the chat for later. I know that it is definitely enabled. Um, It should be, and if the chat is not enabled, I'll fix that for tomorrow. But if anybody has any questions and you're joining live, you could just ask me a question in the Q&A box. Does that sound fair?
Yes.
All right. All right. I'm going to show this content over my shoulder. How does that look? Can you see it?
Yes.
All right. All right. So I'll let you put yourself on mute if you want, but I'm going to jump right in. This is so exciting. I love being able to jump in and talk and teach and, do what I can over here. Let's see. Tell me, I know you can't hear me in the chat, but you'll be able to see me. All right. I'm going to pull this over before we get into this. And I'm going to tell you guys how to register. So if you go to my page right now and you go to xfinancialcpa.com/webinar, and you'll be able to register to join me live in studio. I'm going to be going live for 3 days. And this is called Pocket More Profit. It is where every quarter or sometimes every month I go live, and it's not necessarily a live, but I do a webinar where sometimes it's a 3-day challenge. Right now it is a 3-day webinar, and what I'll be doing is I'll be teaching you guys how to keep more profit. It is December, and it is time that many of us are thinking about how much money did I make? How much money can I save? How much money should I keep? And am I going to be hit with a huge tax bill? And I'm here to let you know that no, you don't have to be hit with a huge tax bill. We already got so many things in 2025 that we've had to deal with, right? Um, our governmental climate is shaky. And even if you live here in the city that I live in, here in College Park, government is going wild. Not only at the federal level, but for us here, even at the city level, things are going wild. So I don't want your money to be going wild. So I have decided to just start coming out, educating you guys, and I've created a community that I am inviting you guys to for 3 days for free. You'll join me live 6 o'clock every day for Aha Money. And we are going to talk about how to think about money so that you can be fruitful and multiply, so that you can live the life that you want. So I'm going to go down my landing page here, and it says, you are here if you think that you're overpaying somewhere. Okay. And we're going to talk about taxes first, right? What do you do? If you don't want to miss this masterclass, like I said, I'm going to be going live for 3 days straight so that you guys do not have to take internet advice. Okay. Take the advice here from a professional who is here and willing to work with you. Now, about me. My name is Spiceda Jackson, and if you've been shared this live, or if you're joining live and you're like, who is this person talking about money on the internet? Spiceda. I have 30 plus years in experience. I know you can't tell, but I started in accounting field many years ago, and I graduated from the Florida State University, which hence I'm wearing the shirt today because we're going to talk about, a little bit about education, and those of us who majored in accounting. But first and foremost, we're going to be talking about what type of accountant should you be using? If you want to make sure that your money is growing and multiplying for you? And before you hire an accountant, what you should know. It's very important for us to know our money. Okay. My name is Spicita. Like I said, I am the founder of X Financial CPA, Aha Money, and Tax Plus 365. I've also I am also the author of the book Make Dollars with Sense and the creator of this beautiful community called Aha Money. And it is where we come so that we don't have to worry about, do I need an accountant? And I'm working with an accountant that can't explain anything to me. I got this huge tax bill. I asked my accountant, and I still don't understand why I have a huge tax bill. You're in the right place. All right. If you're here and you say that you want to buy a house, but you don't have a W-2 and you need the bank paperwork required, like by 1099s, contractors or entrepreneurs, people without W-2s, we don't just walk into the bank and say, "Hey, here's our last pay stub," or "Hey, here's our W-2." How does the bank know what paperwork you need to provide, or how do you know what paperwork you need to produce in order to refinance your house, buy a new house? How do you do that when you don't get a paycheck? We're going to talk about that. And I'm going to tell you what you need to do. That's what the community is all about. That's what these next 3 days are about. And also, if your question is, I think I need to restructure my assets. Somebody told me to set up as an S corp, an estate, or to put my property in a trust. Listen, before you take any of that advice on the internet, you got to register, invite your friends to this class. Okay. If you have a friend on the internet, if you're that friend on the internet and you're not asking for a friend and it's you, and you're the person saying, listen, I've seen on the internet where I should put my property in the trust. I've seen on the internet where my tax bill will go down because I'm an S corp. One of the things that is my famous statement, and I'm going to say it here. Tax advice is just like medicine. Financial advice is just like medicine. You must take your own. You can't just assume that because it worked for your cousin or because it worked for your friend and because it worked for your coworker or because it worked for your parents or your sister or your brother, whomever close to you that you know, like, you trust, just because that advice worked for them, you guys are different. Your financial life is different. You got to make sure that the advice that you're applying to your life won't cause you strife. Make sure that it's a right fit for you, okay? So, share this with all of your friends who you know need to be financially fixed or fit, right? If you had a tax bill that doesn't look right, five-figure tax bill, six-figure tax bill, let's get the money math right. And that's what we're going to focus on for the next 3 days. But I was telling you guys a little bit about me. My name is Spiceda Jackson. If you're just joining, I call myself a retired certified public accountant, but I am a certified professional accountant that work with entrepreneurs and money makers to help you multiply your dollars so that you can live the life that you want. I'm also the author of the book Make Dollars with Sense, where we help you live your life undetermined, undecided, undirected, and uncontrolled by dollars. And now I will add degrees. So if you've already got the degree and the degree is paid for, and the Department of Education has said, you know what, it's no longer a professional degree, we're going to talk about how that affects you too. And how does that affect your financial life? I'm the founder and creator of Aha Money, and it is a community of money makers that want to make sure that their money multiply so that they are living the life that we were all born to live. All right. So, like I said, I'm a former big company, big accountant, big accounting firm, CPA, and I am the founder of X Financial. We go by xfinancialcpa.com. We have a product where we help people all year with tax plus 365. And, my founder story starts with what you see on the screen called the $20 million mistake I'll never forget. Why? Because I started my company, X Financial, for that purpose. Because I've realized that entrepreneurs, contractors, people who make money are missing information that we're simply not given. We go to school, and there's two things that they don't teach us in school, and that's how to track time and money. And those are the most valuable resources that we've been given, right? And time is God's money. And so I'm going to talk about, and my aim and my focus as an accountant, and I don't just I'm not like one of those inside the box accountants. I am an accountant. I am a transaction advisory accountant. Let's say that again, transaction advisory accountant. So I help you have the financial statements you need, the financial paperwork you need so that you can make sure that your money is multiplying, so that you're ready for loans, and so that people will invest in your company, and that you want to invest in your own livelihood, and so that you can have the dollars that you need to live the life that you want. All right. And so here, I'm going to just walk you guys down my landing page. It's over here for you. And it's the $20 million mistake I'll never forget. Let me tell you about the moment that changed everything for me and why I created this masterclass that we're going to be doing for the next 2 days. Invite your friends. I was working at one of the big four CPA firms as a business transaction advisory accountant. That means I worked in M&A, ads, in business mergers and acquisitions. One day I witnessed something that still keeps me up at night. It bothers me. A big CEO was ready to purchase a little CEO. And that's what I call my entrepreneurs. I'm a little CEO myself, right? He was ready to purchase a company for $30 million, but the little CEO only showed $7.5 million in sales. And he asked for and was offered only $10 million. And I call this the 30 million versus $10 million story, where the little CEO couldn't see the 30 million. Neither could his tax preparer, neither could his bookkeeper, neither could his banker, neither could his financial advisor, and neither could his family members or business partners. Okay. But I could see it as an advisory accountant and certified professional accountant. I can see the 30 million. The big CEO could also see it, but because the little CEO didn't see it, he couldn't he couldn't get it. You couldn't get it. You can't get what you don't see, whether you see it with your physical eyes or your spiritual eyes. And I say your spiritual eyes because your spiritual eyes is your faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Yes, I am a church girl. Okay. And I believe that if you can see it either with your spiritual eyes or your physical eyes, you can have it. You can achieve it, right? And it's not just pie in the sky. One of my statements, and which I know to be true, and you'll hear me say it a lot, it is everything you want in life can be found behind a number. And I'm going to show you guys how to focus on the right numbers. Okay. Now, in this story, he was not focused on the right number. He was focused on the $7.5 million in sales and doing channel stuffing to make that 10 million. And here's the truth, value and money isn't always seen, not by the physical eye, it is seen by the trained eye. And sometimes, if you're not working with someone with a trained eye, you might be losing your value, or even if your eye is not trained to see the value and the money, because everything that you want in life can be found behind a number. You just got to focus on the number to see the money that you need, that's required in your bank account. Okay. For those of you, um, so let's get back here. So the little CEO left $20 million on the table because he didn't have what I call IDT CPA. He didn't have the information, the documents, the tax return, and a certified professional accountant. That's when I realized there was a massive gap in the financial services industry. Everyone wants to offer bookkeeping. Okay. Everyone wants to do number crunching. Everyone wants to just simply prepare the tax return for small business owners. But small business owners need more. They need more than people plugging numbers. They need more than people just giving them a tax return that oftentimes don't even get them the bank loan. I've had so many people come to me where they didn't even understand what was on their tax return. And it is critical and important for us to know, and to work with someone who could advise you, give you structure, give you strategy, and just connect with so that you're always multiplying. And I'm not just talking about multiplying your dollars, but multiplying who you are. All right. Next, small business owners, who I affectionately call little CEOs, I'm a little CEO too, like I said, need more than data entry work when it comes to professional financial statements and tax compliance. It's time for you to win. You don't have to worry if you can afford an accountant. You don't have to be the next person who leaves millions on the table either. It's time for you to live the life you want without money concerns. Money systems is what you need. Money structure is what you need. Money multiplication is what you need. Money mastery is what you need. And what I hadn't put up on here yet is money math. How to solve money math problems is what you need. This master class is not about taxes. It's about money, systems, structure, multiplication, money mastery, and learning to money math. So I guarantee that if you spend a couple of days with me, you will know how to money math. I've already given you my background that I'm a former Big Four, um, big accounting firm CPA, and who started an accounting advisory firm called X Financial CPA. I'm also known as America's Advisory Accountant, AAA. All right. And I started my firm because I noticed a financial gap in the industry. And all of the things. And I believe, like I said to you guys, everything you want in life can be found behind the number. And to be God rich is to be wealthy. And so, and money doesn't make you wealthy. You were born rich because you were born with a little bit of God inside of you. So, I don't want so one of the things that you guys will notice that I'm a little bit different than other accountants is, and I'm not preachy at all, but I believe that you were born with a gift in you. And I don't believe that you need money to make you wealthy. I already know and believe and know to be true that you were born wealthy. You just have to tap into the wealth inside of you. And as a highly trained accountant, I am here to show you that even when you don't have confidence that the wealth is already inside of you, that the wealth is, and I'm going to show you the numbers to take you to your wealthy places. I help people build the internal money systems necessary to have a life without money limitations, worry, lack, or stress. So let's get started. Join me for the next 2 days because I want you to go live, because you are God rich every single day. All right. Register for my free masterclass. Log down, get to my page up here, xfinancialcpa.com /webinar. Fill in, start here. You'll get the link to be able to join me live. I only have, and I'm going to stop sharing, I only have 100 seats where someone can join me live here in this webinar class. Okay. Only 100 seats. Only 100 seats. Okay. So I've already gone live. I've already been live for about 30 minutes now. And so let's talk about this, guys. I'm gonna share my screen again. And I'm gonna show you guys this list, this article, um, and the list. Because the Department of Education has unclassified several professional degrees, like several. And let me know in the comments if your degree is on this list and if you're worried. Let me pull it up. All right. So in these next 30 minutes, because I've promised that I am going to be live for 90 minutes where you guys are able to jump in here, ask me questions, and let me check across my different platforms. And I know that it's probably not telling anybody that I'm live, and it's okay. I want to make sure that we're live on Facebook. And if we're live on Facebook and you can see me, y'all give me a shout, tell me hello. Um, All right, so get in here, get in here. So if I'm just messaging some people that were all right, so all right, guys, let me share. Have I shared the screen yet? Oh, yeah, here it is right here. So I was reading this article on my way back from Jacksonville this weekend because I went to Jacksonville, went home to Jacksonville for the weekend. Am I sharing? I am. Perfect. Yeah, I think I am. I just want to make sure I am. Perfect. Okay. So I went back home to Jacksonville for the weekend, and on my drive back, I saw this article, which last Monday, last Monday, guys, last Monday, there was this announcement that was made last week. The U.S. Department of Education redrew its educational programs and that are counted as professional degrees for certain loan programs and omitted several longstanding professions from the list. Okay, they talk about in this article how accounting is on the list, and I got my degree and I got my shirt on to show my rep and my pride. Florida State University is where I got my degree from in finance, accounting, and finance. Thank God that I majored in accounting and finance because one of my degrees is still good. It's still considered a professional degree, and thankfully that I rose through the ranks of accounting, getting my CPA license, getting licensed, and then working for, the largest accounting firms in the world. But listen, and getting the experience that I need. That for me, I consider myself, I am a retired CPA. Okay. I am still an accountant. I am a CEO and I work with CPA. So if you're a CPA out here and you are concerned, like, listen, how does this affect us? I actually think that it affects us in a great way. Um, I know this is not going to be something that you hear that's common. You're not going to hear many people talk about it, but I actually think that it affects us in a good way because we can look at it in two ways. We can look at it one, it discounts the degree, or two, it makes the degree a premium. I believe in the latter. I truly believe that this move has made the accounting degree more premium because no one can just go to school and get financing for it at least. Now they're really, trying to draw the line. In my book, one of my chapters is called College Doesn't Make You Rich. And people like me, like this degree is important. Like if they had drawn this line, I would not have majored in accounting. Okay. Because when I went to school, I actually was going to major in, I wanted to do writing and I was going to like minor in accounting or like maybe go to law school and, be a business lawyer. Sorry. And and I told my mom that I was going to major in English or something related to writing. And she says, well, or marketing. And she said, well, what job are you going to get when you finish with that degree? And I told her what I was going to do, but she understood that that was not a clear path. I would graduate from college, but then I would have to start searching like a needle in a haystack for those types of jobs that I desired, or I would have had to I would have had to apply for law school and do more schooling. And my mom was like, "No, girl, we are poor. I know we live in this nice neighborhood. I know that it appears that we are rich, but you come from a poor family and you need to pick a major where when you graduate from college, you can immediately get a job." And so I knew that I could immediately get a job with accounting, not even finance, because truth be told, I didn't know what type of finance jobs there were out there. But with accounting, you could go work at an accounting firm, you can go work in an accounting department. And for me, that was a clear path. And I was already in a program called Inroads and I was interning. So I tease people, I started working in accounting at 16 or 17 years old, where I interned. I got my first internship the summer before I went to college. So I was 18, but I had been doing like pre-college summer program, like corporate development, training and things like that. I've been doing that since I was 16 years old. I got my first job at Johnson and Johnson in accounts payable. And it's a Fortune 500 or Fortune 100 company. And, you know, I've always had stable work. So I can't see, like the question could be, well, Spicita, do you believe that AI will replace accountants? No, I do believe that AI can replace um bookkeepers and maybe even tax preparers, but at this point, the information that I mean, we're already taking the information for the tax return and putting it into a software, right? So we're telling the software where to put the information. Now, I AI does not know the composition of your life. Your accountant does. AI cannot give you a strategy based on you. Because with AI, you have to give it information. And with AI, you got to know what information to give it. That's why you work with an advisory accountant. An advisory accountant is going to work with you to make sure that they're asking the right questions, getting the right information so that they can get to the best result for you. And that's what I do. That's what my trained team of accountants do. And we just make sure that you're not dealing with, a tax preparer or a bookkeeper, but you're dealing with someone who's not plugging your numbers, but really helping you get to where you belong. So looking at this article, I'm talking about accountants because I'm an accountant, but if you're on the list that's of unincluded, traditionally recognized professions, which this is only a week old. We're just 1 week off the press with this. But if you're looking at, you're in nursing, and audiologists, architects, educators, where are all my teacher friends? Where are all the educators right now? Like I am looking for educators to help. So if you're an educator, I can help you. If you're in education, if you used to be in education, a lot of educators actually um, came out of the classroom after COVID. So we already were on the struggle bus, keeping great educators teaching, like keeping them in the classroom. Now we're saying, okay, well, if you go to school and you get your degree in, education, whatever at varying fields, I don't know how much of the education field is no longer considered professional, but I don't know if they're throwing out the whole school of, the whole school from the university, but educators are. Oh my God, I am so thankful for teachers. I'm so thankful for professors. I'm just thankful for those who help make things simple for us to understand and for us to be able to navigate our talents, gifts, and abilities through all of the systems that have been designed to be with us as we walk this journey called life, right? We have capitalism, we have the education system, we have the healthcare system, which right behind the educators, we have nurses, like nurses, physician assistants, physical therapists, right? Social workers. My mom was a social worker. She certified, people to get Meals on Wheels. But I don't see this as a situation. Even if you're on this list, let me just stop sharing it for a second. Even if what you do is on this list, I don't see it as a negative. I think that what they're trying to do, whoever they is, right? because it's in this big, beautiful bill. I believe what they are trying to do is more like classism. Classism is when you take something and you say, okay, you have to come from a certain family or you got to make so much money, where there is a dollar entry, which there's always been a dollar entry to get into college, but now the government is not no longer going to assist you. So if your family can't afford to send you to college, whereby you cannot pick one of these degrees, so that you can't use a student loan on any of these degrees, which now makes the degrees, in my opinion, premium. Is it discount or is it a premium? I truly believe, um, my Shanana has told me, well, God has spoke to me, and it's a premium. The glass is not half empty. The glass is full, half full. So if you are in any of these professions, um, the glass is half full, and be thankful that if you already have the degree, that you were able to finance your degree. Because no matter what the Department of Education says, every business, every money making person still needs an accountant. If you get sick, or something happens, like my mom, back in 20 January 2017, almost 10 years ago, my mom, I just had my daughter, she'll be 9 in December. About 10 days after I had my daughter, my mom had a medical situation where she ended up um, having a stroke and being in ICU and not being able to walk, talk, or anything. She's fine now, but without physical therapy, and she had every therapist, occupational therapist. She had like all the therapists, all the physical therapy. She had them all, right? Um, a physician assistant saw her in the hospital. She had a nurse. I mean, shoot, she even had a social worker come to her house. So these are critical roles, especially as we age, but when we find ourselves in situations where we have health challenges. So the role, just because the Department of Education no longer is no longer um, recognizing the profession, that does not mean the profession does not exist, right? Um, that doesn't mean the profession does not exist. And I'm looking at this article and I noticed that it actually is saying his nursing on here twice. But I mean, if we just go in here and I mean, it's so many articles on this. It is, I mean, we're 1 week in. Let me know how you feel in the comment section. But if this is you, because it's going to affect you in so many different ways, so many different ways. Um, and and if this is you, I'm going to run down because I'm just showing you guys some things that I have put together for this. Um, really want to I want to show you guys this, but I don't. Let me see, can I do this? Let me see. I'll put this on over here. This is going to show up. Nah, it does not show up, but do want you guys to see it. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm going to pull up. All right, so let's get some of the facts over here, guys. Let me get that over here. And I don't know, Joey, I don't know if you're able to. Can you check to see? Oh, let me tell you guys how to join me live. If you like to join me live, just go to my website, X Financial CPA, um, EXFINANCIAL, xfinancialcpa.com/webinar, and you will be able to register and join me live tonight and ask me any questions that you have. If you're a business owner and you want to talk about deductions, which I'll cover in my last 30 minutes, so that we're covering things that we need to be talking about in December. It's December 1st, and we need to be talking about how do we make sure that we are pocketing more profit here. All right, so let's see. All right, I'm showing it. There we go. All right, guys. So do you see this screen over here? And so here is, and I just put in Google. The Department of Education reclassification of professional degrees has significant implications for students and professionals in the education field. The reclassification removes professional status from several fields, including education, which may reduce student loan access and reimbursement support. Like I told y'all, my mom told me that we were poor and I can't go to school and major in something that doesn't have a clear path, number one, for jobs. But if I couldn't get a student loan, I mean, I went to school with a Pell Grant. So imagine if I'm going to school, I can't get a Pell Grant, I can't get a Parent Plus loan, I can't get a student loan. And so therefore, I can't be a teacher. I can't be an accountant. I can't be a nurse. What do we do? All right. This change affects the ability to borrow funds through federal loan programs with lower borrowing caps for non-professional degrees compared to professional degrees. The reclassification could lead to increased financial strain on students, particularly in high-cost programs, and may deter future enrollment in critical sectors like education, healthcare, and drum roll, accounting. Okay. This article talks about the perspective from the nursing perspective, but advocacy groups, including the American Nurses Association, are concerned about the impact on nursing and other professions, urging the department to maintain the status of these fields as professional. Overall, the classification poses a significant challenge for students and professionals in the education sector, potentially limiting access to education and affecting career opportunity. You want me to read that again? Advocacy groups. I guess Aha Money is going to have to start being an advocacy group, but advocacy groups, including the American Nurses Association, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants is talking about it, are also concerned about the impact on these professions, urging their departments, their professional associations to maintain the status of these fields as professional. Overall, the reclassification poses a significant challenge for students and professionals in the education sector, the nursing sector, the healthcare sector, and the accounting sector. Now, let's ask, why these professions? That's another conversation for another time. I'm going to skip on. I'm going to move on from this. I'm going to skip on keeping on from this. Okay. Let's see. I don't have, oh, it says I was frozen. Okay. I'm happy to be back on track. Let me know if the live is bad. I don't even think it has me. Oh, it does have me live on Facebook. All right. I don't think Facebook think I'm serious with this live action because they are not showing my live stream. All right. I am live. Okay, thanks, Joey. All right, so all right, I'm gonna stop sharing this. I'm gonna pull up one of my presentations that I've done before, so that you guys, I'm just gonna run down systems and why we need to have our own internal system. That's what we're gonna talk about at the top of the hour. Let's just gonna take a little break. Um, and I'm going to run one of my commercials. Yes, I have commercials, y'all. I know how to run them. I know how to run them. I know how to run them. But let's ping some of our friends in this. Let them know. I'm not going to do that. I'll get them to watch the repeat. Mhm. All right. I got so many things open on this computer. Y'all give me a second. I'll be right back. All right, I am back from break. And if you are just joining us, this is a webinar called Aha Money. I think I'm overpaying for something. And in this next segment, I've broken it out into 30 minutes. I will be covering the systems. And as you guys know, I just spent 30 minutes talking about the systems that we're already dealing with, right? We just finished talking about how the Department of Education has already stopped classifying certain degrees that we've worked really, really hard for. They've already stopped classifying those degrees as as professional degrees. And so it's time for us to realize that it's not all about the degree. It's not all about the degree. It's about having an internal system so that you can make money because we all know that we need to make money. All right. I have a little presentation that I've done before. Um, I'm going to cover a couple of my slides simply because I feel like it's appropriate. It'll have some branding on it from my friend Jeff's, from my friend Jeff's conference, and I'm gonna jump right into this. All right. All right. Let me know if you can see this. Jerry, let me know if there's any hard times, if people can't see it or what is it looking like? Am I really sharing the screen? If you want to come off mute for a second, Joey, just tell me how it's looking. I could check it actually. Or am I frozen?
Everything's good. Your book cover is still on,
Do you see
but your
capitalism is a
yes,
skill?
yes.
You do see capitalism? Oh,
Right
you saying
now,
you don't see my live? Look, it's
okay, there
okay.
you are.
You want to see me? Okay. All right. So here we go. All right. So listen, we just talked about how we were born, we're living life, but we were actually all born on the earth, and we live in a world full of systems. Capitalism is a system. Banking is a system. Schooling is a system. Money is even an exchange system, right? And it's really important for us to learn how to have a system of our own. And if you want to thrive in a system and not have to, within this system, and not have to worry about if your degree is still considered professional or not, um, you have to build a money system of your own. And let's be real, a lot of us have chosen professions because the money was good, not because of our love of the profession, but because we know that we have a need for money. And your money is really an exchange of time. Money is an exchange system. It is an exchange of talent and time for dollars. And it's important for you to have a money system. But in school, they don't teach us the two things that we must know in order to be wealthy, according to their eyes. I believe that you were already born wealthy. We were all born wealthy. Yet we give up our time freedom after we, you know, graduate from school. We get a loan, that's debt. We have our student loans. From our student loans, we go get a mortgage, we get credit cards, and now we're working to pay our bills, because it's plural, our bills. And then we enter what I call the system, the money system, the system where you exchange your time for money to pay your bills. And if you're just catching us, I'm an advisory accountant who helps company decision makers oversee their finances, get access to capital, and rediscover money so that they will never overpay in taxes through my individualized accounting advice and my AHA Money community and program. I teach you the right money math order of operations because it's critical and it's important, right? Because everything you want in life can be found behind a number. And knowing the right number is critical. But after knowing the right number, you know what you have to do to solve for X. You have to use the right order of operations. Now, I say everything you want can be found behind a number, but like I said, you got to use the right order of operations. What number do you get for this? When you say 7 times 7 minus 2 times 3, it depends. We're all going to get different answers based on how we decide to solve the problem. And money solving math, this math problem, you have to follow the right order of operations. Following to solve a money math problem, you got to follow the same order as well or similar, right? I've worked with over 2,000 people since founding my company. And in writing my book, I thought that it was critical for me to help people solve for X. A lot of times people don't even know what their tax bill is. By the end of spending 3 days with me at my AHA Money Camp, right? AHA Money Challenge, you will know how to solve, at least decide and know what your tax bill is or should be. So make sure that you ask your friends, or if you have a friend and they, like you, don't want to overpay, and know that they're overpaying somewhere for something, or like many people believe that their dollars should be in the zero tax zone, have them register and join the AHA Money Challenge. During the challenge, I'm going to help you answer some of your questions. And I'll even give you the opportunity to work with me so that you can get rid of your taxing situations by giving you an invitation, an exclusive invitation, to be a part of my community. Because here's the thing, you can save thousands. You don't have to complain about your tax bill. You just have to know that one thing is important. And that one thing is that you must have your own financial system. It's kind of like going to a party. It's BYOB. Instead of bring your own bottle, right? You have to BYOS. You have to build your own system so that money can multiply. You'll have it when you need it, and you're able to spend your time doing what you love, and you can still feel and be the free that you were born to be. Now, Rome wasn't built in a day, and you're not just going to wake up and be in God's promised land. But I promise that much like Moses, much like Harriet Tubman, I have that spirit, and I have all and everything in me is to teach you how to break your tie or feeling like your life needs money. What you need is the right number. You need to know the right number. You need to solve for it so that you can always have what you need, so that you can live life as promised. Many of us are just sitting around and we're stuck in the wilderness, right? We're stuck in the wilderness, outside the tax mandated system, in between or in and out of the wow. We're not, I'll get into it, guys. I don't want to go and get deep into it because I don't have but a few more minutes, but you must relearn how to money math. You must relearn how to math dollars. Money is just paper. Your life is what you make it, not based on the dollars that you have. Money is supposed to be multiplied, but you are supposed to multiply first. The spirit that is you are supposed to be fruitful and multiply. Secondly, the goal would be to make dollars multiply. And we know that if we multiply anything by zero, we'll get zero. I don't want you to be like the one, the three men in the Bible, in the story about the parable about the three talents. One had one talent, one had three, one had um, 5 or 10. But you don't want to be like the guy with one talent, just buried in the ground, right? I want you to be able to multiply. And while you are multiplying and being who God made you to be, you'll have all the funding, you'll have all the money, and you'll have the time that you need to do the things that you love, right? Like I said, what is the multiple of zero? Zero. There's no such thing as a 0% tax. So we got to get you in the right tax rate and we got to get your numbers right. The thing is, most people don't even know how to calculate their taxes. Like your first job. Remember, maybe you were making $10 an hour and you worked 10 hours, 10 times 10. You thought you were going to bring home 100. And what got deposited into your account was like 60 or $80. You wonder what went wrong. After all the years of learning math, after all of years of learning about money, you did the math and you came to 100. But what actually showed up in dollars in your bank account was much less. Why? Because of taxes. Nobody taught you that. My first check, I worked at Winn-Dixie at 15 years old. I may have made $200. This is what I brought home because what you make is not what you take home. And we're going to learn how to calculate tax bills. So make sure that you register for the AHA Money Challenge because you can have zero income, but not a zero tax rate. You must know how to money math. You must know what taxable income is. You must know how to read a W-2, which we were never taught, so that you can structure, strategize, keep your money multiplying, and not just think that tax deductions is it. For for persons, if you don't own a business, it's important for you to know how to read a paycheck, a W-2, a tax return, right? For business owners, we're going to learn how to read a P&L, a balance sheet, and a tax return. I'm inviting you guys to be a part of my Aha Money community because my people in my community, that's what we're going to learn. Okay. Remember, everything you want can be found behind a number. Your dollars can stay inside the zero tax zone and multiply on autopilot so that you can live in the promised land. I want you to do three things today or this week before the end of the year. I want to show you that there is a map to financial freedom. I want to show you how to find at least one important number, and I want to help you make dollars with sense because there is a treasure map that will land you in the land of financial freedom. And there is an underground railroad that will lead you to financial freedom. I can lead you to it. I told you where the starting point is. You have to know that you must first start with the knowledge. Secondly, you must know the order of operations. And thirdly, you must know how to multiply. And like Harriet Tubman, I want to lead you through the Underground Railroad so that you can live a financially free life. So, if you have any questions for me, I'm going to pull this off of the screen. I'm going to pull up my landing page, scroll up. Make sure that you invite your friends to the challenge. Let me share it. This is the first night of the Aha Money um, Pocket More Profit challenge. And this is a challenge that many people have at the end of the year where you're wondering, what is going on with my money? I think I'm overpaying somewhere. We're going to spend 2 days together tomorrow at 6 and Wednesday at 6 p.m. I'm going to promote the challenge. This is one of my ways of promoting. I actually meant to go live every hour today, but I wasn't able to do it because this just does not feel like a regular workday. But I mean, it's December 1st. We have 30 more days left in 2025, and it is time for us to take our money, save our money, because at these days you don't know what you're going to have to do with your money. You don't know where things are going to go for you. I want to make sure that they're going in the direction where you will pocket more profit, keep more dollars in the zero tax zone so that they can multiply and you can live your life more financially freely. So, until tomorrow, let me check my questions. I want you to be God rich, be God rich. I want you to share this with a friend. I want you to invite someone to come that you know um, want to lower their tax bill, that you know want to live a life more financially free, that you know need an expert, a real accountant who can advise them and help them multiply so that they can be more of who God made them to be. So until tomorrow, I want you guys to stay blessed, be God rich. Go right here. I think it's right here above me. And go to xfinancialcpa.com / webinar. Or if simply you go to my web page, or you type in, if you know it says Tax Plus 365, you could type in Tax Plus 365, 365.com, and it's going to take you to xfinancialcpa.com. And there's going to be a pop-up that pops up. Boom. You should be able to click on this pop-up and land in our land to register in the challenge. Now, if you're like, listen, Spiceda, I don't have time for the challenge, you can upgrade. Now, If you don't have the time to listen, you can upgrade. And in the upgrade experience, you can start getting your analysis done. I'm only going to take about 20 of these. So if you're interested in this, you register for the masterclass, which is free. It doesn't cost you anything to register. It is free. It is free. Let me show you it is free. I'm going to go here. Boom, 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 boom. Webinar, right? It is free. It is free. It is free. Register now. Free. Register for the free, let me say again, free masterclass. Now, the class is free, but if you know already that you want me to take a look at your taxes from this year because you feel as though something is off and that you've overpaid, I want you to go ahead after you register. You'll be offered the opportunity to upgrade for you to, for me to personally review your stuff, do an analysis, do an amendment review, make recommendations, and you'll be able to directly email me. Now, when you see all of this, you see what the value of all of this is, and you'll also be able to ask live questions during the Q&A of the next couple of days while I'm running the Pocket More Profit Bootcamp. I actually may run it all week. I only plan to do it to go live today, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Who knows? I may go live all week at 6, but be on the lookout, register, be here at 6 o'clock. Invite your friends. And if you know that you got a situation that you want me to look at for you, go ahead and upgrade. It will take you through. You'll upload your tax returns. I will actually do an analysis of it for you. I will do an analysis. You'll be VIP. You'll be ready to go. If you're looking for an accountant who who can advise you, if you're one of these people, I went to the wrong part. If you are one of those people who feel as though, look, I think I'm overpaying somewhere. I think I'm overpaying on my taxes. What do I do? We're going to talk about that over this week at 6 o'clock. You can even submit me questions where I will talk about specific situations that you're facing. Upgrade to VIP. Now, invite your friends. If you've ever heard your friends say, I need an accountant that can explain to me why I'm paying so much. If you heard your friend say, I want to buy a house, but I don't have a W 2. If you heard your friend say, I need bank paperwork that's required, and they're a 1099, they're a contractor or an entrepreneur, they need to be here. Okay? Invite them. It is free. It is free. It is free. 6 p.m. And if they are like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, I will be offering a replay. I'll drop a link if you want to join, but you can't, whatever. I will offer the replay this week as long as I'll actually, as a matter of fact, I'll offer the replay for the next 2 weeks. For the next 2 weeks. So you have all this week and you have all of next week, right? To watch the replays and to get the information that you need. You can even submit questions. But I'm answering questions on the live for those who have registered and upgraded for VIP, right? If you think you need to restructure your assets, join. Okay? Before you take any internet advice that say put your house into an LLC or put your house into a trust. Trust me, don't do that without talking with me, an advisory accountant. Advisory accounts cost a lot of money. I'll tell you, when I was at KPMG, my bill rate was, and that was 16 years ago, because I've been an entrepreneur now for 16 years. So my bill rate back then was 550 an hour. I'm going to tell you right now, to do a strategy session with me, it costs $1,500. And I did a promotion where if you added it to your tax return, that fee was $1,000. And every one of my clients that met with me where we looked at their specific situation, I was able to identify tax deductions that they had completely left on the table, and they were truly overpaying. Not by a couple of $100, they were overpaying by thousands of dollars. And if that is you, jump on this Pocket More Profit challenge. Jump on. All you have to do is go to xfinancialcpa.com/register. Invite your friends. Invite don't be financially free alone. Don't watch your friends over there on the struggle bus wondering why they keep getting, in situations where they don't feel they're working hard, they're making money, but they don't feel like they're making enough. It is because they don't have their own internal financial system. Having your own internal financial system is critical, it is important, and it helps you keep more profit. It helps you have money that multiply. When you master money, right? Money does not master you. And it is important that you learn to master money because God didn't make you to work your way through life. God made you so that you can enjoy life and you can have it more abundantly. And you don't need to be a millionaire to live in abundance. Yeah, I'm going to say it. It might not be something popular to say, but it's truth. When I started my company, I had zero clients. In 2009, I started this company, X Financial. In 2011, I rolled out officially our product, Tax Plus 365, where we help people year round with tax solutions, tax strategy, tax structure, and having the financials that they need so that they never, never, never leave money on the table. Never, never, never lose out on the value that I talk about when I tell my founder story about an entrepreneur, little CEO who was literally this close to $30 million. All he had to do was recognize that the value was there, know how to read numbers, work with the right professional. There's so many things to money making um, that we just don't know. It's almost like we get a license to drive cars, but we don't get a license to drive our finances and to drive financial vehicles. Now, there's this thing called accredited investors, and if you run in the right crowd, they'll let you know that you have to have 2 million in assets before they would even tell you how to multiply your money better and easier. I'm telling you right now that you don't have to be an accredited investor. All you have to do is be a part of my Aha Money community. And even before you even do that, all you have to do is show up. Show up. Let me show y'all. Before you join, please join this masterclass before you take internet advice, right? Join me. It is free. This is a free masterclass. All you can register for free. You just show up. Just show up. You don't have to be an accredited investor in order to multiply your money. You don't have to have an accounting degree to know how to multiply your money, right? I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you. Show up for free. And if you want to work with me more, I'll give you an opportunity to make the investment to join at my Aha Money community so that you can purchase the assets that you need, so that you can get access to capital, bank loans, investor loans, and all the such. Aha Money, right? We all have to wake up and realize that money doesn't make us successful. Money doesn't make us rich. Money doesn't make us wealthy. Money doesn't make us special. Money doesn't make us who we are. We were born who we are with God in us, and we are already rich. And all the wealth is inside of you. I'm Spiceda Jackson. I invite you to join me tomorrow at 6 p.m. or Pocket More Profit, where I help you realize that everything you want in life is already there. It's just hiding behind a number. Let me help you have the right number so that you can be financially free. And so I'm going to end with this, um, letting you know who I am, Spiceda Jackson. Follow me on Facebook. You could do Linktree Spiceda, or you can go to my, if you're found me on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe. If you found me on Facebook, make sure that you like, share, follow. If you find me on LinkedIn, make sure that you share. I do public speaking. I work with money making people to make sure that if your W-2 is off, if your W-4 is off, if like so many things have changed since 2018 where in regards to money. Now, how how our degrees are classified has changed. How you make money, how you're seen as a money maker is changing. This world is changing. You want to be in a community and which is led by someone who can help you make sure that you have assets that's generating income for you, money that's multiplying for you, and you're living a life financially free as you're supposed to be, as God intended for you to be. So I'm 1 minute over. I told you guys I'm going to be here from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And I'm here as your accountant for the next 3 days, next 2 days now. And all right. Live life, live it more abundantly, and be God rich. Until later. Bye.